Hi everybody, it's Magdalena here from the Witch's Hive. Today's tarot talk topic is all about study. Why is the topic of study so important to us as tarot readers and students? Aren't tarot readers supposed to be masters of their craft? These all-knowledgeable wizards that don't need to learn a single thing more, they just pass down their knowledge and that's it. Isn't there a mythical point of enlightenment where one knows every little thing? The simple answer is no. The moment we stop studying, the moment we stop learning, researching, and having that desire to learn more, is the moment our soul starts to die. It's the moment the flame inside of our heart starts to go out. Learning not only allows us to exercise our mind, but gaining new knowledge allows us to further advance our careers, our lifestyle choices, and our experiences. They say that knowledge is key, and this is true. That key unlocks new adventures, new beginnings, and things that just would not have ever happened if we didn't take the time to learn first. The first initial spark to wanting to study something is curiosity. Curiosity, in turn, leads us to research. Researching what tools are best for us to achieve the knowledge that we are looking for. As in what books to read, what courses to pursue, and who to turn to for guidance. After that comes the actual action of study. And that's the effort that we do with reading, analysing, and note-taking. Every witch should never stop learning. Because to stop studying is to silence curiosity. And to silence curiosity means you're dimming the light of your inner magic. The two suits that are most relevant to the topic of study are the swords and pentacles. Pentacles are a representation of the things that we're studying and where this will take us. The swords, in turn, are a representation of all the books, knowledge, and research that we'll be doing. The papers we'll write, the notes we'll take, and everything else that we'll be using our intellect for. Here are 5 steps that represent study. First, we have curiosity. Next, we have research. Then we have study. After that comes achievement. And finally, the reward. We're going to look at which cards relate to each stage of studying. First of all, we have curiosity. The Ace of Swords and the Fool are representatives of curiosity in the first stage of study. The Ace of Swords plants a welcoming seed of new knowledge with a pure and open mind. It represents fresh ideas and new gained clarity of all the things that you want to learn, remembering that the suit of swords represents intellect. Take note of the tight grip on the sword in the Ace of Swords. This represents the seriousness with which the person's curiosity is driving them to want to learn. All of our life's adventures from birth can be related to the Fool's journey. The Fool takes a leap of faith and steps out into the world, full of wonder and optimism, in search of new experiences. They trust that their path will lead them to where they need to go. This childlike attitude allows their spirit to experience new things without the barriers of fear holding them back. So together with the Ace of Swords, the two step out into the world of study, ready for the unexpected and knowing it won't be easy, but full of curiosity and a willingness to tackle these encounters. The Magician represents the stage of research in the topic of study. The Magician stands before us as a great power that manifests that which we seek. But first, he has to make sure that he has all the tools necessary for this endeavor. He lines them up perfectly on his table to show us that he is organized and well-balanced and prepared for the changes he is about to create. The Magician is the ability and willpower that we all have within us to succeed at our chosen education, because the Magician has the focus that is needed to achieve success. The 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles represent the point of study. The card of the apprentice and of growth is the 3 of Pentacles. We can say that this card depicts a student creating something, while 2 of his teachers watch over him and guide him. But if you look even closer, you will notice that it is a mason, with a monk and a noblewoman speaking to them. The woman holds in her hands a project for whatever the mason is working on, like a blueprint. And inside of the alcove, there's darkness. The darkness in the alcove represents that we have not yet mastered what we're creating, that it is still the beginning stage of study. Now for something really fun. Take note of the bench that the student is standing on in the 3 of Pentacles. Now, take a look at the 8 of Pentacles. In numerology, we've advanced from 3 to 8. So our student has grown, but the same bench is still present. The 8 of Pentacles is all about different achievements we reach in life, but it reminds us that even though we are at a higher level of education, there is always more to learn. He stacks up his medals of everything that he has achieved, but continues to chip away at new ones. Perhaps one of those medals at the very bottom is from the work that he did back when he was the Three of Pentacles, a long time ago when his craft was still developing and he was just an apprentice. The Chariot and the King of Swords represent achievement when it comes to the topic of study. The Chariot perfectly represents the word achievement in terms of where it then takes us. The Chariot transports us from one realm into the next. The Chariot moves energetically, with purpose, and swiftly towards triumph. There is no turning back once the Chariot gets moving. The King of Swords speaks truth and understands how far he had to journey, to be at a point where he could rule his own mind and put all the knowledge he has gained into practice. Knowledge is power, and here the king represents authority and a powerful position in his chosen field of study. The final stage of the topic of study is reward. The Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Wands represents this. The Ten of Pentacles are a firmly structured and rooted reward for all the hard work that was put in to reach this point of mastery of our chosen study. So basically, the Ten of Pentacles is about reaping the rewards of all the hard work that we did. It is a card of wealth and success, but it's also a card of being in a position where you're able to pass down all of this knowledge to your next generation, to your students, to anybody that wants to learn from you. Just like the cycle of life, so too does the cycle of knowledge move, change, and grow. Part of the reward of learning something that we set our sight on is the fulfilling feeling of being able to pass that knowledge on to others, to those that are willing and wanting to learn. The Six of Wands is the card of victory and recognition of our achievements. It is a card of triumph and success. But look closely at the horse. He is cloaked to show that there are things unknown lurking beneath it. The laurel leaves present in this card represent the saying, "Don't rest on your laurels." There is always more to learn and more knowledge to seek, no matter how much of a master we think we've become. I'm going to leave you all today with a 3-card spread that you can practice at home. This spread is for if you feel like you have a creative block or you're not sure what you want to study but you really want to expand knowledge in your brain. It's called the How to Get My Study Mojo Back spread. It's a little bit different to just pulling cards out at random. So the first 2 cards that we're going to pull out is cards that we feel represent these statements. So pull out your chosen deck of tarot cards and pick out the 2 cards that you feel are most relevant to the following statements. Number 1, this card represents me at my most focused and studious. Number 2, this card represents what stops me from being my most focused and studious. Now for the 3rd card, we're actually going to shuffle our deck, and looking at the 2 cards that you picked out already, ask this question. Show me what it is I need to do to become more focused and studious again. When you're ready, pull out 1 card, and that's your answer. I hope you all enjoyed this lesson today in study related to the tarot. Never stop learning. It's so important. The world is ever expanding. The knowledge that we have is accessible and a lot of the time free. So keep learning, keep studying, keep being curious, keep exploring. It's what keeps us young in the end. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and like my videos, and I hope you can watch all of them and get a kick out of them somehow. You can also leave me a comment down below and I'll try and answer all of your questions. But for now, stay curious.